Okay, now this story, this involves stuff, but this is one of his buddies too. It, and it, the buddy will come into play later on in other stories too. Anyway, there's at that point in time, I'm working up in New York State at IBM. So it happened to be on a Sunday, and I'm driving back to Endicott. And so these guys, Jimmy and his buddies, they go down a railroad in. And it was right in town. It was right on the railroad. And they're they're sitting in the railroad and watching. Now, at that point in time, the NFL and the AFL were two separate leagues. They were not. They were competing leagues. And the AFL was the new league, the startup. So there was always a lot of I'm wondering on how would it last, how did the fans really support it, etc. Anyway, the game that's on at the time is the New York Jets are playing the Oakland Raiders, and I'm driving up to school or to Endicott, and I'm listening to the game on the radio, and the game turns out it's a really good game, and but it's for a close game, like 6 point game, and then right near the end of the game, with like 45 seconds to go or something like that, the Jets score a touchdown, kick the extra point. So they're up by 13 points with 45 seconds to go. And they got to kick off to Oakland. Well, these guys are all sitting at the bar in Oakland, and they're watching the game. That was, hey, the Jets scored. Okay, got the game. Well, the TV, the station, cuts in and says, okay, we're going to stop broadcasting the game because this show, Heidi, it's a little show about this young girl. I think it was Shirley Temple played Heidi, I think. Anyway, Heidi was coming on. So it's like, these guys, the game's over. What the heck? Now I'm riding. I don't know any of this stuff. I'm just listening to the game. Well, so they say I turn on some other game. So it was another, maybe an NFL game or something anyway. They turned another game on. So they're sitting there watching another game. All of a sudden, they break into the game. And they say that the Oakland Raiders had a miraculous comeback, one of the greatest comebacks in all of football history. In 45 seconds, they scored 2 touchdowns to beat the New York Jets by 1 point. Well, the bar goes nuts. Okay, Jimmy and his buddies and those guys, they go crazy, right? Oh my God! Now I don't know anything. I'm just listening to the game. Right, there's a great comeback, right? I heard the whole thing. They go crazy, and the game, it's become famous. I mean, if you looked it up on Google, the Heidi game, there'd be something in there, I'm sure about it. Anyway, they're going crazy. And so his buddy, who's a policeman in Wayne, next town over, right across the river, he's ticked off. He says, all right, I've always said this before, I was going to write letters. I'm writing a letter to the NBC or CBS, whoever it was. So he gets in his car, takes off. Then he has to get down to the light, go over the bridge. He doesn't, maybe 2-3 miles at the most. So he goes and he types up this letter that he's going to send to NBC. He comes driving back, and he's in the bar, and he's reading the letter to everybody in the bar. And they're all, yeah, tell those this, Well, this place is called the Railroad Inn, okay? Now, when a train comes by, the gates go down, and the lights go on, and the bells, you can hear the bells ringing, bang, 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 it's train go by. So anyway, they're in there, he's reading the thing. And then I hear the train go by, the bells ringing and stuff like that. And then the bells keep ringing. Bang, bang, bang. It's like, what the heck's going on? Those trains aren't that long. I mean, during the week, during the day, maybe you get a coal train would be a long train. Other trains, not that long. So, what the heck's going on? They go outside. It's called the Railroad Inn. You park your car right into, towards the tracks. Well, when he came back, the only spot open was the last one. He pulls his car in a little too far. And the first boxcar in the train, boom, hits the car. Hits his car, tears he tears half the front of the car off, I mean, for a train, it was nothing, you know, to hit the car and take it off. But the train didn't know it hit the car, so they stopped. And that's why the bells are ringing and all that stuff. And then the police came on. So he goes outside. So he not only missed the end of the Heidi game, his car gets wrecked. I mean, oh God, it's just it's just a typical story of the characters we hung around with, you know. Anyway, so Jimmy's telling me the story. He's on the inside. Now I get up to work next day. I come in and I go, wow, what a ball game yesterday. What'd you think of that game? Holy mackerels, people jump up like, oh, don't mention that game. I'm like, what the heck? Because I'm listening to it. I didn't know any of that happened. I didn't know any of the Heidi stuff happened, you know. Then I heard about it. Whew. I tell you, it's a famous game. Infamous as far as the Railroad Inn, us is concerned because of the guy with the car. Anyway, no little story. You'll hear about the policeman again sometime in the near future.